Okay, so we're in our annual, I call it descend into madness of getting ready to prep for garlic. And so it is September 22nd, I think, right now. Right now, we're going to start planting garlic about October 18th, whatever that weekend is. And then we'll go from there. And Andrea had ordered some garlic from Keen's Garlic, which is out of Wisconsin. And Andrea wanted, we did the purple, it was Parisian Star, which here's a couple of them over here from ours from this year. And we liked those, so we wanted to do more of those. So we got 5 pounds of Parisian Star. So the Parisian Star that we got, let me put these over here, were the regulars. So here's the regulars. What Andrea wanted to get was the jumbo ones. So this one here was I think the largest one that we had.
Yes.
But it's still smaller than its corresponding jumbo one. And so other than that, it's just the size thing. One of them's just bigger than the other one. So we wanted to get the jumbos instead of the regulars, because if they're going to take up the same amount of space and you have to do all the same amount of work, they might as well be a little bit bigger so you get a little more money for them. So each of these represents a pound of Parisian Star. So they're obviously all in their little 1 pound bag things. Then Andrea wanted to try a new garlic this year, which is in this purple thing. And it's a red Creole garlic. And this is supposed to be a super spicy garlic. So the Parisian Star has a lot more oomph to it than the elephant garlic, because the elephant garlic is very mild. So the Parisian Star is a pretty good flavorful garlic, and the Creole is supposed to be a real powerful garlic.
Purple. Purple. Oh, okay.
And so that's that. And then the other thing we wanted to do is all of this is bunching, or not bunching, green garlic. So with the green garlic here, what you do is you do not break these out.
These must be half pounds.
All right, so here is our green garlic. Now the good thing about the green garlic is we plant each bulb, we just plant it into the ground. We do not separate out the cloves. And the reason for this is you want this to grow up like you would spring onions or green onions. And then you just harvest the entire thing at once. And so what our thought was is we want to plant these so they can start being ready in April, because the farmer's market that we're going to be going to starts in April. So then we can bring green garlic with us in April and start selling our wares in April, knowing that the main garlic is not going to be ready till late June to early July. So then we can be there more, we can tell people about it more, et cetera, et cetera. So right now the idea is we're going to have the green garlic in April, and then when the garlic scapes start popping out, we're going to bunch the scapes up and sell those. And then that'll last for a little bit, and then there will probably be a gap where we will not be at the farmer's market. But then when the main garlic starts being cured out, then we'll be there in full force. And then hopefully we can get more word of mouth and et cetera, so then more people can say, oh, the garlic people are here. That's the theory. So this is 5 pounds of Parisian Star, 5 pounds of green garlic. Now, all of this here, the Parisian Star and the Creole, this has to be put in a refrigerator. So I've been waiting to see how much room this was going to take up, because I'll show you in a minute, but we kind of ran out of room for the elephant garlic.
And do you want to say this is a little more than quarter pound?
Yes, Andrea said we ordered a quarter pound. They gave us a little more than a quarter pound. All right, our laundry room is kind of tight, so I'm kind of shoved in the corner here, but here is our refrigerator. This is a reversible refrigerator and freezer, so you can set it to either one. So it's not two different spaces, refrigerator and freezer, it's one space. And so, you know, just to show you the scale of this thing is pretty big, which is why we got it. And the primary reason why we got it is what I'm going to show you in a minute. All right, the refrigerator also has a little lock on it over here. And the reason why we have a lock on it is because of this. This is the refrigerator. And so, except for a couple of Arm & Hammers Andre has in there, and except for Ubrelvy, which is a migraine medication, except for that, this entire sucker is just slammed full of elephant garlic. Each of these bags here represent 100 elephant garlic. There's 4 of bags on each row here. So this represents 1,600 elephant garlic. Each of these has 50, so that's another 300. And then down in the crispers in the bottom is another 100. And so that equates to about, all right, so that equates to about 2,100 cloves. Now, the vast majority of these are what we call rounds, which I'll show you in a second. And we have to have it locked because there was so much weight on the door, it kept propping the door open. So we got the little lock there, and so that's able to keep the door closed. So that is the big refrigerator right there. So that's about 2,100. Then we have another 150 here. And then these were some of our larger, what we call pretty garlic, of elephant garlic that we did not sell, because they say you always want to keep the largest ones and replant those. So the reason why we have 150 in our main refrigerator is because we wanted, we get about 450 garlic per row, and then that just evened a row out. So let me come in here. Let me see if the lighting's okay. And then, yeah, let me turn this light on. Okay, I think that's a little better. And so here is the remainder of our garlic that has not fit in a refrigerator somewhere. So these here are the rounds. So it's a garlic bulb that has not split. So over here, let me pick one up. This is a garlic bulb that has split, so you can see the individual cloves. Well, the way the garlic grows is it grows to a certain size and then it starts splitting like this. And so we think what happened is we misjudged and did not have enough nitrogen in the soil, and it kind of stunted the growth of the plants, which in turn stunted the growth of the bulbs. So we think that's what happened, and we're course correcting this year for that. And so this is the remainder. Now, there's a big debate on the internet on whether or not elephant garlic has to be chilled like regular hardneck garlic, because the Parisian Star and the purple or the red Creole, those are both hardneck garlics, which are technically designed to be grown up north where it gets colder. We can be able to cheat that by sticking them in the refrigerator so they get their chilling hours, which is at least 6 weeks of chilling hours. And then once they have all their chilling hours, then we stick them out and we can plant them in the ground, and then they should be able to do normally. The Parisian Star that we had last year, I'm coming over here, turn the light off. There we go. The Parisian Star that we had last year, that's what we did, is we stuck them in the refrigerator for 6 weeks, and then we just planted them as normal, and as you can tell, these turned out just fine. Each of these Parisian Star have between 10 and 11 cloves on them, where the elephant garlic will typically have 5, maybe 6 at the most. The elephant garlic cloves are a lot bigger, obviously. So what I'm going to do, since I get done with this, is I'm going to put these in the refrigerator so they can start chilling. And if I counted my math correctly, I think it'll be the first weekend in November when we can plant them in the ground. And so what we're going to do with the rest of the elephant garlic that we were not able to stick in a refrigerator is we're going to plant these without chilling, and we're going to see if they're going to split. And we have plenty of rounds here that we can test, and we have cloves that we can test. And originally I didn't want this many, but you know, we only have so much refrigerator space. And this is something that we're going to have to know, because next year I want to get to 6,000, and if we have 6,000 cloves, you know, and we have to chill them, then we're going to have to do something about that. And since they have to be in there for 6 weeks, you know, it's not like we can just shove some in there and then shove some not in there. And I think if you chill the garlic and then have it out for an extended period of time, I think it loses its chill value, but don't quote me on that. But the other thing I wanted to show you real quick is what the state of the garden area looks like right now. Okay, this area here is where we're going to be planting the garlic in a few weeks. And what we did was we came back, we got a dump truck load full of manure, and we dumped, I would say, about 10 to 12 cubic yards of manure in here. And then we planted alfalfa, but I don't think the alfalfa really came up very well because it was too hot. Because it was around June when we did all this, because the garlic, we harvested the garlic on Labor Day or Memorial Day weekend. And being in South Carolina, it gets really hot by then. So I don't think the alfalfa really worked. I came in yesterday and actually mowed this. I had brushed hogged it with the tractor like once or twice, so it wouldn't get too unruly. And then I came back in yesterday and actually mowed it. And so that's what all this stuff looks like. And then right before we start tilling, I'm going to mow it again to try to get as much of the organic material as possible that we can get into the ground. And so this is what it looks like. And over here, the short version is we tried to continue using our straw that we put down last fall, but it evidently degraded too much. And so over the summer, especially when we got all that rain in a couple of weeks, this happened. So pretty much our garden is a bust for the summertime. Although Andrea was finally able to get a couple of zucchini plants actually growing, which there's one right there. So we might be having some fall zucchini. Actually, there's a couple of zucchini plants in there. And then the other thing is our leeks. These were very small leeks that we transplanted over to here. And so they've been there all summer long. And they're actually not looking that bad. After we had all of our rain, our watermelon plants went kaput. And so we've been clearing out watermelon from over here because one thing was last year we had watermelon and we had spaghetti squash, and those things covered vast amounts of area and they kept the weeds down. But especially since the watermelon plants are gone and we were not able to get spaghetti squash to grow this year, it ended up looking like that. But this is the area where we're going to have our garlic. We're going to have 6 to a little more than 6 rows of elephant garlic. And then we're going to have a little less than a row each of the Parisian Star and the green garlic. And so I was anticipating 7 to 8 rows. And then plus Andrea will have her onions and stuff for us. And so over here is, while I'm out here, over here is where Lady Pants is in the middle of right now. I'm in the process of moving dirt so we can move this. So the configuration in the south for a greenhouse is supposed to be north-south configuration. Well, when we put this up, we didn't know that, so it's actually like an east-west configuration. And so what was happening is in the morning we were getting a ton of light, direct light in here, which was inhibiting the garlic, because while the garlic's curing, it's not supposed to have direct light. And then in the afternoon would be the same thing over there. So if we move it over here, then we're going to have virtually no direct light to deal with, because those doors will be facing north-south instead of east-west. And then the other thing was we put dirt over here to raise this area up a little bit, but we got a couple of monsoons, and the path of the monsoon, when we got enough rain and it started breaching our swales and stuff, the path came over. Are you kidding me right now? Sherlock, come on. Get. Come on, get. Goofy dog. All right, hold on. I swear that dog sometimes thinks he's a chicken doing a dust bath. So anyway, the water that would be shedding off from the field would go past the chicken coop, would come over and end up over here. And water would be coming up from underneath the ground in here. And especially while we're curing garlic, you don't want to have that much humidity in there. So that was kind of concerning. But the good thing was, I noticed over in this area, there was no water standing at all. Even when we had standing water all over the place in the yard, this part over here had virtually no standing water. So what we wanted to do was just add a little more dirt on top of that to make sure it's nice and dry. And then we're going to get another landscape tarp, put it over here, and then we're going to move that over to winter. Now, obviously, this has been done 100% with my tractor. I haven't raked it. I haven't smashed it down. I haven't done anything with it yet. I just wanted to get an entire layer across. And I'm going to kill this dog. Swear that dog's going to be the death of me yet. But anyway, if I can finish real quick. After I finish putting my initial dirt thing in, I'm going to come in with the tractor, and I use my tractor compacting method, which is just run over it with the tires to compact the dirt. We've done that over here and it seemed to work out pretty well, so we'll do it again. Now, where I have to go with this is I have to add dirt up to about where this post is right here. So not the post that's right next to the gate, but the one that's about 6 or 7 feet out. That's about how far I need to go. And then I'm using this T-post here as my guide here, so it looks like I've been creeping over a little bit. But what I want to do is get like a 36 by 36 foot area. And so with the 36 by 36 area, not only can we be able to have one, but possibly even two of those greenhouses, just in case we need more curing space for next year. So that's my main garlic update. Is we still have to figure out what we're doing with the mulch. Right now it looks like we might be getting round bales of possibly old hay that we can use as mulch. The hay's like a year old, which means it's more spoiled, which means the animals can't eat it, but we can still use it for mulch. And the good thing about the hay or the straw is that you just leave it in the garden and you till it back in, and then it becomes organic matter. And then the cycle repeats itself. So anyway, looks like Sherlock's finally away from the stupid dirt. And that's that. So I'm going to go in there now. I'm going to put all this garlic in the refrigerator, and then I can start the counter on that. And so hopefully we'll be planting garlic here in a few weeks. So there's Lady Pants right there. It's a nice early fall day, so it's like mid 80s right now, and it's kind of partly cloudy, as you can see. So all right, I'm done. Just wanted to give a garlic update.